means 2 points that are 9.1 sources of history, their conservation and preservation. In that, we have saw about the three main sources of history, that are oral sources, written sources, and material sources. Then we saw about the some museums, famous museums and also saw about the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangralaya. Today we are going to learn about the point 9.3, that is libraries and archives. It was the homework for you. I hope that you have completed your homework. So we will start new point 9.3, archives. Libraries are the storehouses of knowledge and information. We know that the libraries are the storehouses of knowledge and information. When we read the books, we get the knowledge as well as information about specific thing. Library science is very closely related to management science, information technology, and the field of education. Means the library science, which if you want to opt as a subject library science, then after the opting of this subject, you will come to know about the management of this library and information technology. Libraries perform various tasks like collecting books. What are the tasks of libraries? To collect the book, arranging them systematically, then conservation and preservation of those books. Then what they have to do? Dissemination of information sources, etc. Means what are the differences? If there is any difference in the information, they have to do it. Many of these tasks are completed with the help of computerized system, and from these tasks, many of them are completed with the help of computers. To make a book available to a reader as per his requirement, it is the most important aspect of library management. To make a book available to the reader is the main important work of the library management. The Royal Library of Ashurbanipal in 7th century BCE, before Common Era, the Assyrian emperor in Mesopotamia, the library at Taxila University 5th century BCE to 5th century CE, and the library of Alexandria, Egypt 4th century BCE are supposed to be the earliest libraries in the world. So these were the some of the earliest libraries in the world. The Saraswati Mahal Granthalaya in Tanjavur, it is in Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu, was built in 16th to 17th century. During the times of Nayak dynasty, it was built during the times of Nayak dynasty. In 1675 CE, Venkoji Raje Bhosle conquered Tanjavur. Venkoji Raje Bhosle conquered on Tanjavur and established his independent rule, and he became the independent ruler of Tanjavur. Venkoji Raje Bhosle and his successors kept expanding Saraswati Mahal Granthalaya. His successors means the members of his family who used to take his place, they started to develop the library or the Granthalaya. Successors kept expanding. Saraswati Mahal Grantha Saraswati Mahal Granthalaya. Sarfoji Raje Bhosle contributed the most in this expansion. Sarfoji Raje Bhosle, what they did? They contributed most for the expansion of this Granthalaya. In 1918, the library was renamed as the Tanjavur Maharaj Sarfoji Saraswati Mahal Library in his honor. For their honor, the name was changed of that library or the Granthalaya. There are several noteworthy libraries in India. We know that there are many of the libraries in India. For instance, few examples are given here like National Library Kolkata, Nehru Memorial Museum and Library Delhi, State Central Library Hyderabad, Library of Asiatic Society and David Sassoon Library, Mumbai, etc. So these were the some of the examples of point of view, the management of archives is akin to library management. It is very important. It is having most important place in library management. Preserving documents and important content in their original condition, preparing access and creating accurate systems of retrieval of documents are the important tasks in the management of archives. In the management of archives, what is the important task? To retrieve it, to keep it protected from getting damaged. This is the important task, that it should not get damaged. Any of the book or the document should not get damaged or it will lose its value. Documents from the archives are supposed to be very reliable. The documents which we have got from the archives are the very much reliable for studies. Because of the heavy dependency on computerized systems, information technology has become an inevitable part of the management of libraries and archives. Because of what? Computerized system. Because of the computerized system, what has become? Because of the computerized system, information technology has become an inevitable part of the management of libraries and archives. Because of this, because of the computerized system, it has become very easy to the first official archives of India, the Imperial Record Department, was established in 1891 CE in Kolkata. The first Archives of India was established in 1891 CE, Kolkata, and then it was shifted to Delhi in 1911 CE. CE means Common Era. In 1998 CE, the then President of India, Honorable K.R. Narayan, President of India, K.R. Narayan, opened the archives for public. After that, the archives were opened for public. It is a department under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Culture of the Indian government. It comes under the jurisdiction of what? Ministry of Culture of the Indian government. The documents have been preserved here in a chronological order from 1748. The documents which are being preserved here are managed chronologically, are kept chronologically from the year 1748. So which are the documents preserved here? It includes records in English, Arabic, Hindi, Persian, Sanskrit, and Urdu languages. The documents which are being preserved here are in different languages. It also includes records in Modi script. Modi script, as yesterday we have saw, the Modi script means the language which was used to write Marathi. It is a type of Marathi language. These records are classified in four categories, and the records which are kept in these museum are categorized in four categories: public records, oriental studies, manuscripts, and private records. Government of every state in India maintain independent archives. Different archives are there for the different states. They are having the independent archives for their own states. The archives of Maharashtra state government has branches in Mumbai, Pune, Kolhapur, Aurangabad, and Nagpur. There are about 5 crore Modi documents related to Maratha history in the Pune branch itself. There are 5 crore Modi which are related. These documents are referred to as Peshwa draft, and these documents drafts. Wait a minute. Then we have encyclopedias. Encyclopedia is a systematic completion of information. It is the systematic completion of information or knowledge of various topics. It has the knowledge or the information of various topics. The information or knowledge in encyclopedia is arranged with a specified method. The knowledge or the information in this encyclopedia is arranged in a specified method. Organizing available knowledge and making it accessible is the main objective of encyclopedias. What is the main objective of encyclopedia? That to organize available knowledge, to organize the available knowledge and making it accessible, to make it accessible to the people. It is the main objective of the encyclopedia. Then we will see about the benefits. What are the benefits of to encyclopedias? Make vast volume of knowledge accessible to readers. It makes the vast volume of knowledge which is accessible to the readers. It can help in satisfying their curiosity. It is helpful for satisfying the curiosity of the reader. Encyclopedias provide fundamental information on any topic. What they do, they provide the information on any topic. In order to understand it properly, we should understand the topic properly. For that purpose, encyclopedias provide us the information. Thus, the reader gets motivated to read extensively, and because of that, the reader gets the information, and so that the reader gets motivated to read it. Encyclopedias make the existing knowledge easily accessible to scholars. What they do, they provide easily knowledge to the readers. Existing knowledge easily accessible to scholars and researchers also, and also highlight the research areas which have not yet received enough attention. Research areas have till now research areas have not received any more attention, but encyclopedias provide that kind of encyclopedias are indicators of the state of cultural ripeness of a society. It the intellectual and cultural needs of a society determine the intellectual literature. It should be created over us. Accuracy, criticisms of it, standards on authenticity, update are designing a accuracy should be there. It should have the objectivity, it should have the standardizedness of the format, and these are the criteria for designing a structure of an encyclopedia. In order to incorporate the latest available information, revised editions of encyclopedias or supplements to original editions need to be published. What they have to do time to time, they have to update it, they have to revise it and publish it for the people. Encyclopedias are arranged either in alphabetical order or according to the order of topics. Either they are arranged in alphabetical order or according to the topics. Order is decided by keeping the convenience of readers in mind. The type of order is decided according to the convenience of a readers and the easy of accessibility to the information, how it could be easily accessible to the people or the reader. An index at the end of the encyclopedia is very convenient in this regard. An index is given at the last of this and it is very convenient for reader. The encyclopedia can be created either by a single editor. A single person can create it, or an editorial committee, means a group of editors can also make an encyclopedia. The articles in the encyclopedia are written by subject experts. The articles which are given here in encyclopedia are written by whom? They are written by the subject experts. Then we have here types of encyclopedias. We have types of encyclopedia. Encyclopedias can be approximately divided into 4 types. Encyclopedias are divided into 4 types. First are dictionaries. Second one, comprehensive encyclopedia, means Vishwakosh. Third is encyclopedic literature, means Koshadrush. And fourth one are indexes. So the first one is dictionaries that we will see. Everyone knows about the dictionary. We use it for finding the meaning. Dictionaries arrange the words in a language in a certain order. Words are arranged in a certain order of any language in a dictionary. Alphabetical order is more common. In more common way, the alphabetical order is common. What does dictionary gives us? It gives meanings of words, synonyms, and etymology. There are various types of dictionaries. Dictionaries are also various types like comprehensive dictionaries, Dictionaries which include only certain types of words means related to science. It includes words related to science. If the dictionary is of science, it has the words which are related to science in that way. Dictionaries of terminology deals with the terms peculiar to a branch of knowledge. It gives the terms which are peculiar to a branch of any of the knowledge. Then etymological dictionaries, treasures, dictionaries of items and proverbs, etc. Then the second one which we are having here is comprehensive encyclopedia, means Vishwakosh. There are two types of Vishwakosh. First one, it includes all subjects under the sun. Under the sun means all the subjects which are related to the or comes under the universe. For example, Encyclopedia Britannica, Maharashtriya Jnana Kosh, Marathi Vishwakosh, etc. These are the examples of the subjects which comes under the sun. Then we have here yes. Hello, ma'am. Then we have it includes comprehensive information on one chosen. One means it is related to only one subject. First one was it can be related to any subject which, and the second one it is related to only one subject. For example, Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh, Vyam Jnana Kosh, etc. Then third one we have here encyclopedic literature. It is similar to an encyclopedia. It is similar to an encyclopedia which comprises scholarly articles providing information on all possible aspects. It is providing information on all the possible aspects which are related or given by the scholars of one or more predetermined subject. They are related to one or more subjects. For example, Maharashtra Jivan, Volume 1 and Volume 2nd. Shahar Pune, Volume 1st and Volume 2nd. Yearbook, Manorama Times of India, given by written by Manorama Times of India, etc. So encyclopedic literature is totally it is as encyclopedia and the last one is indexes. An index usually occurs at the end of a as we can see keywords, reference books or subjects or list of the any of the important factors. For example, the index of Marathi periodicals prepared by S. G. Date. Indexes are helpful in finding required information and it makes the information in a book easily accessible. With the help of indexes, we can find the more information related to it. Now here encyclopedia and history as like this. They put stress on objectivity. They put the stress on objectivity. Encyclopedias are various and in various languages may differ in their approach because of different priorities. In different countries, different type of people are there, and they give different types of priority to the things. And because of this, the encyclopedia is having different but the structure is influenced by the national policy. Some of the criteria are there, and according to that they prepare the on can be a medium to strengthen our identity, means national identity. For example, Bharat Shastri, edited by Madhav Shastri Joshi, giving knowledge in all the spheres of life. From that, we were seeing about some of the examples like Bharatiya Sanskruti Kosh, edited by Madhav Shastri Joshi, make knowledge in all spheres of life accessible to everybody. Means knowledge should be accessible to everyone. Can one of the major drives behind the creation of encyclopedia? This reason behind preparing the encyclopedia is that everyone should get knowledge of each and every aspect in our society. An inspiration to gain and spread knowledge motivates either individuals or a group of people to create encyclopedias. It is an inspiration to gain or to spread the knowledge. For spreading of knowledge, a group of people or an individual can prepare an encyclopedia. Hence, encyclopedias are looked upon as outstanding achievements of a society. They are looked as an outstanding achievement for the society. It is the manifestation of the collective intellect and creativity of a society. It is not the work of an individual. It is the work of the whole society. They have to collect the information and they have to present it in a creative way. Then we have here, do you know? The following are the early encyclopedias. Here, the information about the early encyclopedias is given to us. Natural history was the first encyclopedia by Pliny the Elder, 1st century AD. Second one is encyclopedia. The encyclopedia by Diderot, the French philosopher of the 18th century CE. The third one, Encyclopedia Britannica. This encyclopedia was first published in 1767 CE. This is supposed to be an important milestone in the making of encyclopedia. This is supposed to be an important milestone for the preparation or making of the encyclopedia. There is an ancient tradition of dictionaries like Nighantu, then there the encyclopedic works of Rajavardhan prepared of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj are important in the books of period. Important encyclopedias for us. Then we have here encyclopedias on history related subjects. The encyclopedias which are related to the history. Then individuals and ancient those who lived in Bharatvarsha earned name for themselves and were part of us along with their one, their clans, their religions, their lands and capitals, the rivers, mountains in their lands. Whatever their history is given in this encyclopedia, whatever the history is related to our nation is given in this type of encyclopedia named as 23 volumes of Maharashtriya Gyan Kosh, edited by Sridhar Venkatesh Ketkar, are available. The major drive for the major drive of for Ketkar is creating it was the facilitate wider access to knowledge and to expand the intellectual sphere of Marathi speaking people. This was created for what purpose? For the spread of Marathi language, for knowing that Marathi speaking people His was far-reaching view of history, which reflected these volumes. Information related to multiple language. And we have here Bharat Bharatvarsha Kosh is another important encyclopedia, number 65, first line. It was the important encyclopedia. Siddheshwar Shastri Chitro established a committee, and for this purpose, Siddheshwar Shastri Chitro established the committee, and the name of the committee was Bharatiya Charitrakosh Mandal. For publishing this encyclopedia, 3 volumes were published, and the 3 volumes of this Bharatvarsha Chitrakosh were published, and they were named as Bharatvarsha Prachin Chitrakosh, which was published in 1932. Then Bharatvarsha Madhyam Yogin Chitrakosh in 1937, and Bharatvarsha Archvin Chitrakosh in 1946. What the first one includes? It includes information on the lives of individuals mentioned in the Vedic literature, including Shruti, Smrti, Sutras, Vedangas, Upanishads, also Purans, Jain and Buddhist literature. Similarly, other 2 volumes contain biography in respect of individuals of safeguarding spiritual. They publish about the Upanishads, Purans, Vedanas, Shruti, Smrti, and Sutras. Then we have here, do you know संगीत शस्त्रकार व कलावंत यांचा इतिहास? लक्ष्मण दत्तात्रय जोशी. क्रांतिकारांचा चरित्रकोश S.R. Date. It contains biographies and illustrations of about 250 Indian revolutionists. It is having the biography, the illustration of the 250 Indian revolutionaries. Then we have third one here, that Swatantra Sainik Charitra Kosh. Those who suffered or imprisonment, and those who devoted their life for independence, who have devoted their life for the independence of our country. We have here Sthalkosh. Geographic information is essential for historical studies. For the purpose of historical studies, geographical information is also necessary. So encyclopedias giving information about historical places are available. We have the encyclopedias which are giving the information regarding the historical places. Stanpothi, 14th century CE, is an encyclopedic text which is composed by Muni Vyas of Mahanubhav sect. It describes all those places visited by Chakradhar Swami, the founder of Mahanubhav sect in our society. It gives us an inkling about Maharashtra in those days. It gives us information about the Maharashtra at that time. It also gives details about the time, place, and background of the events. It also gives us the information about the time, place, and background of any specific event described in Leela Charitra. Hence, it is a very good source for writing about the life of Chakradhar Swami. Then the second one, Stalkosh is Prachin Bharatiya Stalkosh 1969. Siddheshwar Shastri Chitrao compiled this encyclopedia book. It is compiled by whom? Siddheshwar Shastri Chitrao. It provides information about various places mentioned in Vedic literature, Kautilya Arthashastra, Panini's grammar, Valmiki's Ramayana, Mahabharata, Purans, medieval Sanskrit literature, and Shabdakosh. Also in Jain and Buddhist literature, in Greek, in Chinese, Persian literature. Means this gives the information about the many aspects of our society, like from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Purans are there, grammar is there, everything is included in this Prachin Bharatiya Stalkosh. Then we have Vishwakosh. The first Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Honorable Sri Yashwantrao Chauhan, initiated the completion of Marathi Vishwakosh through Maharashtra Rajya Sahitya Sanskriti Mandal with a view to enhance the sphere of Marathi language, to spread the Marathi language and literature. The work was started under the guidance of Tarak Tirth Lakshman Shastri Joshi. It contains knowledge about all possible subjects in the world. All the possible subjects in the world are included in this Vishwakosh. It also contains very important entries about history. It is having very important entries of history. Joshi of Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh. These volumes contain information about Indian history, geography, various ethnic and languageal groups, local history of those groups, their festivals, and their cultural aspects. In this, they have about Indian history, geography, language, different language groups are there in our society, and local history of those groups, which kind of festivals they celebrate, what is their culture, everything is been published in this Bharat Sanskriti. Then we have here Samnaya Kosh. There are encyclopedia texts explaining the terminology. It is about the explanation of the terms. For instance, communism, globalization, etc. of history. Such texts are very useful for the teachers of history. Such type of texts are useful for the teachers of history. School, college, and university teachers of history can find ample opportunities in the field of publication of encyclopedias. Teachers from school, college, or university, they can find the opportunity in the field of publication of encyclopedias. Encyclopedias of all types require history. Encyclopedias of all types, each and every type of encyclopedia requires an expert who is of history. Every subject has a developmental history. Scholars of history can contribute significantly to encyclopedias of various types. Those who are scholars in history, they contribute significantly. After studying this textbook, you must have noted that with specialization in history, one can get access to several opportunities in various fields. You can choose your future career with the help of information in this text. From this textbook, we will come to know or read about the different branches, or we can have the different opportunities to make our career. So these are the so now we'll see, we'll ask some other questions. Anyone who wants to give the answer can raise their hand. Lower Museum has, what you have to multiple choice question is there. First one, Lower Museum has in its collection the much acclaimed painting of Dash by Leonardo da Vinci. Whose painting is there in this museum? Anyone who knows the answer can raise the hand. Kushibano.
Mona Lisa.
Very good. Second one, Dash at Kolkata is the first museum in India.
Indian Museum.
Indian.
Museum.
Museum.
Very good. So this is the homework for you, that to write short notes. So please take a screenshot of it, all the students. Have taken the screenshot of this homework. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.